Okay, now we're on to the concept and vocabulary. The first one says, an equation in which the variable occurs in a square root, cube root, or higher root is called a radical. That's the first answer for the first one. The next one says, solutions of a squared equation that are not solutions of the original equation are called extraneous. Extraneous. They're out there. They don't work for our solution. The next question says, consider this equation. What happens when you square the first side over here? What answer do you get? Well, if you square a radical, you just get that number there. Right? The radical goes away. You square it and the radical goes away. What happens when you square the other side? Well, let's square it. Let's multiply it by itself and let's see. We got x times x, that's x squared. We've got x times negative 7, that's negative 7x. Now the inside, we got this times this is negative 7x, and this times this is positive 49, and these two can be combined together. So the answer is x squared minus 14x, because you add those two together, plus 49. So there's the answer for that one. Now the next question asks about if you have this and you're using that formula. Now this is an odd number, so odd means you write down x equals, you put that 5 down there, and then you flip these two. And you're finished. When it's odd, you just do that and you're finished. Now, if you have one that's even, like this one, see the top number's even, so write down the 5 and flip these two, right? So flip them, put the 3 over the 2, but because it's even, you got to put a plus or minus with that one, and then you're finished. Now the next question asks about solving this problem, and it wants to know what is u equal to. So let's do the formula like we've done before. Draw your arrow. Underneath your arrow, put the letter u, and what we want to see is something squared, and here we've got minus 13 u, and then put the plus 36. And see what does u equal? Remember, you circle this. Circle that center part. So u equals x squared. U equals x squared. That's our first answer there. And what's the trinomial? It says rewrite the equation in terms of u. Here's the answer for the next part. This is the answer right here. U squared minus 13u plus 36 equals 0. That's the next answer. Now the next one has some fractions in it. What does u equal? Let's do the same thing. Draw an arrow. Put a u down here below that arrow. What we want to see is u squared plus, here's a 2, u minus 3. See, just do the same thing. Draw an arrow, put the u, bring down these numbers, make it easy. There's nothing complicated here. Circle like we did up here. Circle this part here. And see, that's your answer for what does u equal? Well, it's pointing to it. X to the 1/3. X to the 1/3. That's all, just whatever it's pointing to there in the center. And what's the equation? Here it is right here. Here's our answer right here. U squared plus 2u minus 3 equals 0. Okay, here's the last two problems. If you have an absolute value equaling some constant, then remember, we just draw the line and we make this as a plus or minus. And just make it as a plus or minus, and you just bring down this u. So you see, we get this answer, but they want it as flipped. So it's a plus c. So you put a c there or a minus c in that particular problem. Same thing, plus or minus, but or c and negative c. So let's do the same thing in the next problem. Let's take this. Let's make this as a plus or minus. Plus or minus. Let's bring this, bring the 7 down. Bring the 3x minus 1. The absolute value goes away. So you see what they want is, this is the answer, but they want it. They want you to write it in the Pearson as 3x minus 1 equals plus 7, or 3x minus 1 equals negative 7. There's your two answers there for that one. Same thing, but they want you to write it down like that.